Hello everybody, my name is Pravus, and welcome back to more Surviving Mars Below and Beyond. We are in the middle of a cold wave in New Ulm, which is going to be pretty nasty for the next 3 sols. In fact, we're already starting to drain a bit of power, which is very concerning because, well, if we're draining power during the daytime, that means we definitely won't have enough for the nighttime, and that's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. To that extent, I'm actually going to go into conservation mode on power and just go ahead and start turning off a bunch of buildings right now in order to try and preserve at least some of them. At least anything protected by the subsurface heater shouldn't be having any issues. We're pretty low on drones right now because we sent them off on a breakthrough expedition. So here come a bunch of much-needed drones right now. I'm going to make sure they all get assigned over here to try to build out things like these solar arrays. We do not have a lot more time to try and get some additional power going, which is not very good. I am trying to build out another wind turbine over here, close to the triboelectric scrubber, to make sure that we are reducing our maintenance needs over here by a lot. We're saving tons of machine parts the way that we've got things currently set up, which is good, but, I mean, it's going to come at the cost of a little bit of electronics. Still, at the end of the day, I think that's worth it, but there you go. No edible crop was harvested. Well, that's not good, but that's probably because we didn't have enough workers during most of its growth cycle. So there we go. Now we're going to start running out of energy. This is going to be a bit problematic, but our batteries are close-ish to full, plus I have a 4th wind turbine upgraded and ready to go, so hopefully we'll be all right. How are we doing on water? Not great, but that's because I turned off these moisture vaporators. If we think we're going to have enough power, I could go ahead and turn these back on. Let's see. Now we're draining at minus 47 over the course of the night. Honestly, I think we're fine. Let's go ahead and turn the moisture vaporators back on once they get to their respective work cycles. Keeping them down to less work in general just to conserve power during this cold wave for the next couple sols. We're not going to be as efficient as we would like to be, but still. I think it's well worth it just to make sure we don't freaking die. Hi, transports, what can you get? How about a whole bunch of materials over here and bring them back? What about you? Anything else? Well, how about you go grab some resources over here and bring them on back? Doing fine on the metals department, doing fine on concrete. Food is, well, a problem, given the fact that we had a crop failure. We're currently consuming at a rate of 3 per sol, and I see that we have, I'd say, about 9 or so. No, let's say 16, really. 16 in storage. So in theory, we have enough food to last us for a bit. Enough time that we should be able to complete successfully a soybeans crop, but it does suck that we were not able to get the soil quality that I was hoping for. Oh, well, so be it. Let's actually try to get some extra work shifts out of these if we think we can handle it with power, and I do think we can. That means we should start gaining water now, so yeah, actually, we're going to be just fine with this cold wave. It's just irritating more than anything. Are there any breakthroughs that I am currently missing? Doesn't appear so. Pretty soon, I'm going to want to go down to the underground and start looking for more anomalies out over there. I think there's more immediate benefit to going to the underground than there is in the asteroids most of the time. But the problem, of course, with going to the underground is we are going to be using up a lot of machine parts, keeping that thing alive. And right now, machine parts are something I don't really have a lot of. We still consume a fair bit, even though we are reducing that maintenance cost by a lot over here with the triboelectric scrubber. So until I feel like I have a more sustainable source of machine parts, I do think that going down to the underground is a bit of a risk. Are there any other planetary anomalies I would really like to get before my enemies can? I mean, we could go for some research progress. What this does is use up 6 drones and some fuel for basically a bunch of free science. I'm going to go ahead and say that's worth it. We can go ahead and live without as many drones for a little while. Right now, I think we're fine. Somebody was born! Congratulations to moi! I have the first Martian born. We are crushing the AI right now, which is to be expected. The door towards the stars, the first human born on Mars. Everyone is very happy about this. Additional colonists can be called in. Basically, what happens now is we've just skipped the founders stage entirely. So now we can start bringing in new people immediately, which is actually great, because I could really use some additional population. We've got the space for it, but what I haven't been doing up to this point is gathering things like, I don't know, rare metals. Yeah, it would be kind of nice to start getting some rare metals set up. So if we were to place, let's say, this right here, once we get some more colonists able to work that, that will be a new source of income for me. What else could I use? Well, we could send a small machine parts factory, and that'll start taking some of the metals that we have in excess of and start turning it into machine parts. I also wouldn't mind making my own polymers if we have that research done, which I don't think we do. No, but it's queued up at the moment with the low-G hydrosynthesis. So that would be good. We could actually not buy a machine parts factory and simply build one of our own if I were willing to spend the time and the research to do that, which I think I am. And then what's down here? Commanders with extra drones? Don't think I care as much about that. Anything else here that seems really important? No, we're not going to need more oxygen, and I don't care about apartments at the moment either. Low G fungi, meh, and we could get water reclamation, but I'm not feeling super worried about my water situation right now, so let's not worry about that as is right now. We are getting pretty low on water. Water is going to be an issue soon. May need to go ahead and accept the extra power costs of having this water extractor working. 3D machining is done. Oh, okay, we actually just got it done instantly because I finished getting an extra 4,000 science from the planetary anomaly. Hello. That's pretty nice. So yeah, now I can actually build a machine parts factory if I so desire. And you know what? I kind of do desire. We could build a small one, but I'd much rather have a full-size one. We know we're going to want that at some point anyway, right? Yeah, let's see. What does this cost me again? Cost some electronics. It does have a maintenance cost, and the thing is, until we're ready to have the workers working here, there's not a lot of point in building it, because why have the maintenance? So we're going to ignore it for the moment. But we do want it at some point. Hello, workers. You decided to go over here. Oh, okay. Well, that's less people working at things like the infirmary and stuff, but you know, sure, all right, why not? Go ahead and start working over here, but we're going to work overtime, because this is the most effective button in the entire game. I wish I were kidding, but I am very much not. I'm surprised my water is not coming in a bit heavier than this. I mean, we have the water extractor doing its thing. These guys aren't consuming water for most of the time. Really? Do we produce just this much little water in general? You consume, it looks like 3 water in general. Yeah, we actually could really use some more water. Let's go ahead and land this rocket. The plan will be to send this back to Earth so we can grab some more passengers. And what other resources might I be looking for on the map right now? There's apparently a whole lot over here, so let's... Whoop, don't do whatever you're doing. I do not want to salvage my drone, Commander. That's really important. Grab the metals, grab the polymers, bring everything back. And I'm sure there's more polymers over here somewhere. Or maybe not immediately available. Still, at the very least, some more metals. I'll take it. Just grab whatever we can. Saves me a lot of effort. It's one of the reasons I wanted to build this dome over here by the rare metals sooner rather than later, instead of going for the underground metal deposit, because look how many metals we're getting just from scavenging the surface. That's just from scavenging. Like, there's really not a whole lot to worry about there. So we have decommission protocol. Could work toward medium domes. Feel like that's a little aggressive for now. Don't need a drone assembler. Lower risk of flaws after sanity breakdowns. Ideally a non-issue. We did make all of our non-specialized workers more effective thanks to general training. That's actually been pretty darn good for me. Utility crops, I still think would be useful. Low-G hydrolysis, yeah, absolutely. Beyond that, what do we want? Factory amplification will be important at some point. Might go for extractor amplification. Spend some power. Basically just make this water extractor more effective, since apparently I'm not getting as much water as I think I deserve. We are running low again on power, so let's go ahead and start building out a couple more of these. Get these solar panels up and running, and maybe a little bit late to take full advantage of that. Whoa, Mars quake. Well, it's a good thing I'm not underground, eh? That would be pretty scary and upsetting. So as soon as we have enough fuel, we're going to go ahead and launch here. I need to get more people on Mars as fast as possible. I think that's the highest of priorities. Rather than going for as much rare metal income as possible. I mean, we still got $5 billion here. We're okay. If anything, I'd be very tempted to say, let's go ahead and outsource. But I'm going to save some money because I'm going to need to buy some rockets sometime soon. Let's go ahead and do our return to Earth trip. We're not worried about getting anything else right now. Everyone, just get back over here to the drone hub. Whoosh! Off we go. Hooray! All right, more people. That's what I'm looking for. More people. Farm, still looking at about 30. It's probably going to end up being about 25 food by the time that that's done. But honestly, if we're consuming only like 2 or 3 food per soul, that's fine. We're going to be just fine on that. Very worried about our current water situation. I'm turning off the fuel refinery so that these moisture vaporators only are able to produce lots of water to go into my stockpile. Right now, we're going to have problems with life support, basically, as soon as... well, there it is right now. So we're going to run out of water, and now, yeah, life support's down. Apparently, we also no longer have enough power because, oh, right, not enough water for the subsurface heater means this turns down, which means everything just went to heck. So hypothermia is now going to be a thing. Okay, we have to survive for 8 more hours. People should be able to survive for 8 hours. My question is, are we going to have a sanity breakdown? The sooner we get power turned back on, the sooner we get water. Unfortunately, our water towers do shut down and freeze over if we don't have the subsurface heater running. So these need to get re-maintained, but that's okay. Now we're starting to increase our water supply a little bit, but not great. Not great at all. Ugh. Yeah, I'm really shocked how bad this is turning out to be. Cold waves are rough. They're just always really, really, really rough. But we'll be all right. We'll survive. We always do, probably. I'm actually going to turn this on and actually restrict you guys to working these shifts. And if anyone works over here, work overtime. 2 people working separate shifts on overtime is more effective than working the same shift on overtime. Don't know why. That's just always been how it is. Cold wave is over. Thank you. All right. Another day, another disaster diverted. We get some extra morale. Well, nice. Let's go ahead and turn off the subsurface heater. No reason to be spending the power. And lo and behold, we have tons of electricity coming in. I'm going to go ahead and just turn off a bunch of solar panels, especially the ones that are out of range of the trip electric scrubber. I would normally say let's turn off the wind turbines, but considering that scrubber is keeping them up and running with basically no maintenance costs, I don't really see any reason to do that. We don't need this much power, so we might as well just save ourselves some metals. Though also, to be honest, the large solar panels should be mostly cleaning themselves off during the night. So, I mean, we're kind of fine, right? I think so. All right, let's see. So the rocket is still taking a long time to return to Earth. Not much we can do about that at the moment. Still nothing we can do there. I'm really debating the outsource. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do it. Let's just go ahead and get the extra outsourcing going. I think it's worth it. As far as our scanning is going, we're turning up basically nothing. We call that a little on the disappointing side. I'm just looking for any additional anomalies or supplies that we could take advantage of. Anything at all would be nice. Anything at all. We are producing some water, but not nearly fast enough. Man, these humans really are consuming quite a bit. We don't have any additional moisture vapor. Oh, we do, actually. Oh, never mind. Well, okay, hang on. We should be placing some of these down. I'm a dum-dum. Ah, yes, I'm a big dum-dum. We should have been placing some of these down. We actually got some prefabs. I forgot. For some reason, I thought that we actually did not do that, and instead got more drone hubs. But nope, we did get some of these, which means here's an opportunity to get myself some extra water. Let's make sure we get that upgrade using some polymers. It's almost always worth it. And once again, we're finding that we have no life support. Well, no, that's not true. As long as this moisture vaporator is running, we can keep people alive. Not very well, mind you, but we can keep people alive, and that's really what matters. What's this? The sustainable architecture. This is really good. Less maintenance for in-dome buildings just means all this stuff doesn't need as much. I don't care about things like concrete, which right now is only really what I'm spending. But once we have things like the machine parts factory, that saves me electronics. And anything that reduces maintenance is going to be good for you. That's just how this game works. Every time. All right, I need to build up more of a water bank, apparently, because we are struggling over here. We are struggling real hard. Let's get another moisture vaporator set up like so. Definitely within range. We have prefabs for a reason anyway, right? And we'll go ahead and turn you up. There we go. Plenty of power still to go around, and I can turn on more solar panels if I think I'm going to have some issues. And actually, yeah, let's go ahead and turn you off during the night. And you as well. Okay. Sector scanned. We found a bunch of polymers. Hooray! 77 polymers is, well, a lot of polymers. It's a lot. I'm kind of tired of waiting on these rockets, and I think we're going to need to send a cargo rocket next time, so I'm going to buy one. It's going to cost me $3 billion. Yeah, it's a lot. I know, but I still think it's worth it. I still like all the different perks and stuff that we had set up before. We could change up some quirks. Vegan is honestly fine. I don't really care that much about it, but, like, it's a good thing. The reason we like vegan is people are happy eating only vegetables or, you know, organic materials, not animals. And I almost never use ranches in this game. I don't know why, but I really don't. So this should be fine. Let's go ahead and launch. I'm not even going to bother checking the male to female ratio. Since this is not the last arc scenario, we're not really in any danger. And the price of electronics has gone up. Yep, we knew that was going to happen at some point, and there it is. Let's go gather up a whole load of polymers down off in this direction. There are quite a few to gather. Bring those all back home. And then you, I don't know, there's got to be more metals somewhere. There's 12 over here. It's not a lot, but it's something. Grab it, bring it back. There we go, easy enough. We're going to need to have another landing pad, so let's go to my infrastructure and make sure we build one of those. Where do I think I'm going to place it? How about over here? Yeah, landing pads should be able to prevent dust from flying up, so I don't think I'm putting any of my buildings at any maintenance danger by doing so. I just want to have a couple of landing pads, because now we have 2 rockets that I'm going to have to juggle, and we will have to have landing pads for our asteroid landers at some point in the future as well. Let's go ahead and turn you back on. We do need to have a little bit more power building up during the day, though we're actually full on batteries at the moment. All is looking really good. Utility crops, once those are done, are going to be great. I don't think we need it right now, per se, but it'll be nice. Only 1 person working over here all of a sudden. Okay. Well, that'll change once the passengers do arrive. Even so, we're still looking at getting like 18 food. I've only got 7 left in the storage building, so it's kind of important we successfully get this next crop. If we don't, we're going to have to use a supply pod, which I would really rather not do. Note that we are making power even during the night. Well, knowing that that is the case, I guess I will turn on at least 1 or 2 of these moisture vaporators, keep this going. I would rather go ahead and have a deficit and start building up some more passive water in my water towers. I want to get those back up and running. And let's go ahead and turn back on the fuel refineries. These guys should be able to run at all times, if we're doing things correctly, which apparently we are not. Also, when the Moxie's off, yeah, we're losing oxygen, but who cares? I mean, 1 Moxie can supply like 2 domes with 0 issues, and we can always research magnetic filtering at some point soon too, so who's worried about it, really? Let's go ahead and make sure we turn on the concrete extractors a bit more, and more research cooperation. Okay. Lambda Industries Deep Space Telescope is performing as planned, so we got the research, the analyze space telescope data tech. There's a thing to do, huh? This isn't exactly a breakthrough, but it is a story bit, and it is something I would like to get. I still think, you know, I would say sustainable architecture is more important, but until we build a machine parts factory, it's not. So let's go ahead and work on the story bit soon. That way we can just go ahead and make some progress on that. 400 metals that we're sitting on right now. Not bad. Utility crops is done. We would be able to place down cover crops next, and I think I will, because cover crops will let me get my soil quality up very rapidly. So we'll finish up this soybean, then we go ahead and get started on this, and then afterwards, you stop with cover crops. We don't care about it that much. It doesn't produce very much food. It just gets the soil quality up nice and quick. Besides that, then we can start oscillating between, let's say, potatoes and soybeans, kind of using up the soil quality and rebuilding it, and that's going to get me the most effective amount of food per soul. We've seen all this before if you've watched my previous series. Nothing really revolutionary and new here, but still very important. Let's go ahead and swap that to soybeans, this to potatoes, and then we want to make sure that we turn this off before it gets around a full cycle again. But there we go. We've produced food! Oh good, that's another milestone achieved for me! And lots of food being delivered into these service buildings, which means we are, at this point, I think, food sustained. That might change once we get our next round of passengers, but they're bringing some of their own goodies as well, so not worried. Goodness gracious, look at these little geysers. It's so scary. So big and so strong and so scary. Still producing a good amount of fuel, so that's all looking fine. Producing enough water during the day to make that work. Probably could reduce this water extractor. I want to keep this deposit as full as possible. It's very low grade, so we don't get a lot of water whenever we do extract from it, but I want to have this source sitting around just in case. Scan some more sectors, find a lot of good stuff. That's great. We'll just keep exploring down over here. I'm looking for anomalies and finding absolutely freaking nothing. That's so very fun, thank you. Probably should go ahead and get the extra 6... No, that's 6 planetary anomalies, though. That's only good if we are going to have both of our rockets sitting around. Yeah, never mind. That's not actually a very high priority. What else we get? We found the medical center, which is a spire. I don't need a medical center, so that does nothing for me, but thank you for the effort. I do appreciate it. Since we do have children, getting schools actually isn't a bad idea at some point. It certainly would make our children a lot happier, but I don't need that right now. A rocket has arrived back on Earth. Let's go ahead and do a cargo rocket. What do I need? Well, the answer is machine parts. I do need quite a few of those. I wouldn't mind a little bit of electronics. They're just very expensive. That's the primary issue I've got with that. Another explorer, so when we do go down into the underground, we have a second one available. That could be nice. I'm kind of tempted to get some probes. I don't need to get things like a polymer factory. We could spend money for it, but I don't need it. Yeah, I am debating getting an electronics factory. A small one, at least, would allow me to be a bit more sustained. It's okay. And then we could get another drone hub, for example, but I don't have very much money left. Ooh, boy. This is pushing it. If we don't have... Okay, you know what? Forget the small electronics factory for now. We can do something else later. For now, I need to make sure we have some money sitting around still. Actually, you know what? Hang on. Better thought. Forget buying electronics. Let's go ahead and just buy it this way. This is almost the same price, but it gives me the ability to make my own electronics instead. All right. Yeah, I just need to have some leftover funds just in case we need an emergency bunch of food or something along those lines. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and launch. We'll bring back another cargo rocket. Hopefully that was not the wrong decision just now. I'll feel really, really stupid if it was, but I think it was the right way to go. I think it was. I love that we've got this triple electric scrubber. I was really questioning it a while back, but like now I kind of dig it. I dig this thing. I think it's great. Could increase its range by 1. This would protect even more solar panels, I suppose. Not that we should be needing it. We don't need it. That's the thing. We don't need more protection for my solar panels. They're fine as they are. And we're doing great on power. If anything, I'm actually still overdoing it. I'm going to go ahead and turn you off, and I'm going to turn you off since they're pretty low on maintenance and let them kind of take care of themselves, at least for a little bit. Transports still have no idea what they're doing with their lives. You guys need to go to college to discover yourself. That's what you got to do. Let's go ahead and bring this all back here. And then there's more metals over here. Grab all that, bring it back. Yeah, there is a tech at some points that'll make these automated. That's honestly super duper helpful because then I just don't even have to think about it. But alas and alack, we don't have that quite yet, so not a major concern. So the passenger rocket is only 2/3 of the way here. Man, it takes a long time to travel back and forth. I forgot how penalizing that really is. The extra 3 times travel speed back and forth. I mean, it's going to be a while before we have these machine parts. The good news is we're not desperate for them, but... yeah. The maintenance cost is higher than I would have expected. Interesting. Research cooperation is done. Do we want to get some extra sponsor research? So basically this is just, you know, permanent 100 extra science, which is okay. Or a 20% research outsource cost reduction. That's not bad because it means I can spend $800 million instead of $1 billion to get 1,000 science. If we have lots of money coming in, this just lets me get more outsourcing consistently, which is far more science than the sponsorship. That said, I don't think that we're going to have a ton of money going forward. We will have some, but not a ton. I think I'm going to go ahead and just take the 100 sponsor research. I know it's boring. That was probably not the most effective choice exactly, but we don't need $500 million right now, and I really suspect because we have the inflation turned on, we're probably not going to take advantage of outsourcing all the time. Or if we do, it means we've gotten to a point where I can't afford any resources back on Earth, which means there's nothing else to spend money on except for research, and I'm not that worried about it. So I'll just take the 100 passive for now. Well, I mean, not even for now, just like straight up forever. That's all I ever get. But I think it's an okay choice. It's a safe choice. It may not be the best. I could probably game it, but it's an okay choice, and that's good enough for me. We have 14 population over here in Kushinaga now, by the way, which means we have had 2 births. Okay. That means that once these new people arrive, we actually do need to have this living complex repaired and ready to go. So let's send my drones to bring over some concrete and get this thing up and running again. And actually, I also am looking at possibly being a little bit full-ish on my concrete storage. Let's go ahead and just set up another depot somewhere over here. Think we'll want to have that. And let's also set up a fuel depot over here, and I guess we could set up some more rare metals, but probably don't need that right now. A lot of drones with really no idea what to do with themselves. They're all kind of bored right now. Fair enough. Let's set up a small dumping site or something over, like, actually maybe a larger one. A larger dumping site over here, just so we can start dumping all these rocks. Give our drones something to do. It does feel weird not to be building more stuff. It feels like you should always be building more in this game, but that's not necessarily true. Marsquake! Still going. We found an anomaly! Thank God! Something I can do. Guess what? It's still not a breakthrough! Oh my God! So incredible. Let's grab all these resources. I see them here. More polymers and whatnot. I'm pretty sure we already had a transport on it, but we might as well just double up on it, go faster. Might as well. And then what else should we scan? Just keep working down here. I thought we'd be scanning a lot faster, you know, given the fact that we do have 4 sensor towers working effectively. I'm debating going ahead and just building out some more. I mean, I know that costs me some electronics, and that's dangerous, but I also feel like we really need to explore more on the surface of Mars. We're just not getting a lot. So yeah, we have 9 rare metals. Now, we could get a little bit of money out of that, but if we do have a small electronics factory on the way, then we may want to save those to start making my own electronics. All right, here comes some people. We need to go ahead and get that machine parts factory set up since we had talked about doing that. I'm going to get another couple of storages, specifically for metals over here, and then a depot for machine parts over here. That way our drones can rapidly drop some stuff off. All right, hi guys. You can fill up these living complexes. We do not have a lot of space for anything else. I'm going to set this so... Let's see, births will be no longer allowed when we are full. That's going to be the new goal. Anomaly analyzed. What do we find? We can get 500 million or we can get 50 applicants. I mean, 50 applicants is nice if we needed any specific classes. There's a higher chance we get like a celebrity or a genius if we do this, but it's not great. I'm going to take the 500 million. That way I could do some more outsourcing or buy some more stuff if we need it. And I think we're about out of time for this video. Let's go ahead and allow some extra jobs at the Rare Metals Extractor. We have people all working in our farm, so that's good. And people are now working here in our machine parts factory. Does that leave me with any unemployed people? It looks like the answer is no. I'm going to say the infirmary is always a high priority. We're good at the diner, good at the grocer. Plenty of people working in the machine parts factory. Yeah, we're looking pretty solid here, actually. I'm going to go ahead and make the farm a higher priority here as well. We would set up a polymer factory, but I've got so many right now, I'm not worried about it. So, yeah, this should translate into me getting quite a lot of machine parts. 6.3 per soul easily makes up for what we were looking for. Plus, with sustainable architecture, we're not going to be using up as much electronics. So the next major goal at this point... Actually, let's go ahead and turn off the exports of rare metals. We're not doing that. The next goal is to start getting a source of electronics. Once we have that, we've officially reached some level of sustainability, or at least we'll be able to be sustainable. Best thing to do there, then, will probably be to set up a second dome. Probably off in this general vicinity. We had talked about doing that. I sort of stand by. I think that we need to do this. Now, if we set it up over here, we'd be able to access 2 underground metal deposits. I don't know how valuable that really is to me, but I think we could. Yeah, we're going to set up another dome, and we'll connect these guys with some tunnels. We'll set up electronics inside. We'll be able to access metals if I need them in the future, and these guys should be able to share some of their services. I actually may place that somewhere else in a second. I'll think about it. But this lets me start really expanding a bit. We'll place down an amphitheater as well, and with that, we should be able to greatly increase the comfort rating of our domes, which means our birth rate can go up, which means we will be doing just fine and dandy. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this video. If so, then I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time on Mars.